Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful day. If you know the Rogue River, you recognize that bridge. And you may even recognize the gravel bar. Well, that's if you know the area. If you don't, well, then it's a secret spot. And yeah, it's super secret and stuff. Yeah. We had a couple of good rain showers earlier this morning and a few overnight last night. And any of you who do a whole lot of rock hounding know that that's pretty helpful. Wow, check that out. Now there's a fun little first find of the day. Look at that. It's like an orbicular formation. See that? Little dots. That's kind of cool. I'm going to keep that one. So anyway, we're coming out and taking a look because, you know, we had some good rain. But when the rivers come down, it makes it it's a little red and yellow Jasper. Quartz. But it makes it a little bit easier to see what you're looking for. Helps the colors of the rocks pop a little bit more. But I'm gonna go over this way. See what we can find. There we go. Caramely little Jasper. Look at that. It's really kind of neat. It's a compressed clay. I guess you might be able to call that something like an opal, but not really. It's just some silicated clay. Get a lot of that around here. Let's see what else we can find. So I walked down a little bit, disappointed from my not a successful agate find, and found this. This is a really cool example of sort of how Jaspers can get their banding in colors. Yeah, that looks there. Just in layers. Some people will mistake this on occasion. They'll find a piece of banded jasper and they'll mistake it for petrified wood because the layers can almost seem uniform, almost like growth rings. So it'll confuse some people sometimes, especially if it's a really nice piece of jasper. Wouldn't you like to see a tree turn into that? It's good even coloring. I guess that would be the takeaway from this. But if you were making something like belt buckles or shirt buttons or, you know, like cabochons for sort of southwestern jewelry, these very earth tone colors might be appealing to you. It's a nice piece. I don't really need it, because again, I got tons of it. But I figure it's nice to show you. That kind of material is great to slice and work with. You can carve things out of it. It's nice hard stone. Let's see what else we can find. So I was coming along and I found this really super cool yellow Jasper. And I'm going to pop it down in the water because y'all know how I feel about putting stones in water. Make them easier to see. Just zoom on that for a second. It looks like it's nothing but a bunch of yellow jasper bubbles caught in a solid piece of clear chalcedony. So chalcedony is the main stone. It's just being all of these little bubbles. See them? Tiny little dots and bubbles are just being held together and bound, frozen in place by clear chalcedony. That is just so freaking cool. You know, it's hard to find weird stuff these days and not get excited, but the more I look on this river, the more I find this really cool stuff. And I really enjoy it. It's one of those things I like about rock hounding, because you're always constantly surprised. Look at that backside. See what I mean? Just billions and billions of little dots. That's just kind of cool. Definitely a keeper. Well, let's see what else we can find. That was quite exciting. Find something new and interesting. Alright. Oh, well, what do we got here? Oh, wow! Holy crap! Alright. That was just like, oh yeah, it's just a little red Jasper. Check that out. Holy crap, that is so cool. Now, I think this may be some kind of fossilized coral, but I'm definitely going to call this full-on orbicular Jasper. That is just wild. Look at that green in there, dots of green and red. Yeah, that is actual green. It's not like a stain or anything. That is just so freaking cool. Oh. That's wild. And it goes all the way through. That's so cool. 2 for 2 on awesome. Well, that's nice. So I try to look around in the general area and see if there's anything cool. And as I stood up, I saw this red sort of catch my eye. Alright. Now we're going to turn it around, see what we find. Yeah, let me zoom back out. Alright. So it's a red and yellow Jasper. It looks pretty cool. It's interesting. I've got a little project coming up for cutting, so I'll make use of that. That one's a keeper too. Well, let's keep on moving down this way and see if we can't find maybe at least a small agate to finish our video with. Got another nice, big chunky piece of... So this is that silicated Jasper I'm going to tell you guys about. This is a big chunky piece of yellow. I don't know how good that's coming up on camera, but it almost looks like... It seriously looks like it's scalloped the way that wood would be scalloped, but it's Jasper. And there's probably some clear chalcedony in there. You can see on this side where it just really gets really nice and wavy. Does the same thing over in here. And that'll kind of tell you how you want to cut it if you were going to cut one of these. It would determine the direction that you cut to get the best image. You know, maybe you want that a little bit of that green popping through, or you want to go for those waves. Either way, that's pretty cool. It's a nice stone. We're going to leave that one there, though, because I really do have buckets of that stuff laying around. Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? Yeah, a little petrified wood. Well, I'll come back to you, see if we find anything else interesting. So I was walking along and I found this guy hanging out. Check that out. That has just got some wild, wild pockets of clear chalcedony just running all the way through it. That's pretty cool. Just out here taking a look around because we had some good rain and it washed off some of this. Because when the river comes down slowly, you get like this ickiness on the rocks, and it's just, you know, little river scum and soil and sediment, and it just kind of takes a couple of rain showers or some dry weather to dissipate and clear away. Sometimes the river comes back up and you don't see it. But if the river has just come down and you're hoping that you can get to a section of river that nobody's picked yet, then yeah, you're going to encounter this stuff. Well, let's see what we can find now that I'm down here. And it's starting to rain, so I'm going to turn my camera off for a little bit. Here's something pretty cool. I'm going to try and stay on that for you so you can see it. I'm zoomed in a little bit so you can see it better. It's just a little fancy Jasper. This one's got a little bit of clear chalcedony or common opal in it, one or the other. They're always cool to find. They're great for tumbling, making cabochons. They're always pretty nice to find. So, let's see what else we can dig up. Let's just sweep that aside to see. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Alright. I'm going to get tight on it for you and then I'll spray it. These are kind of fun. So there's really pretty red and yellow Jaspers. There we go. And they're kind of cool. They really do clean up very nice. But they've got all kinds of layers of red and yellow through them. And it's sort of like a poppy Jasper, but without the poppy formations. It's just a red and yellow Jasper. Pretty fun though. We're going to keep it. Well, I started cleaning this off and I thought it was interesting enough that I should probably show it to you guys. And got the camera set up so I can show it to you. Came out of that little hole right there. So, we have a pudding stone that kind of presents almost like the traditional Michigan pudding stones, except green instead of red. So let's get in on that and show you what's going on. Pardon me. There's a nice little orangey bit up here. It's kind of cool. But otherwise, it's all green. Green on white chalcedony. Kinda neat. I just thought that was cool enough that I should share it. Well, first agate of the day. It's not a big one. But then again, as I repeatedly say, it's not how big your agate is, it's how pretty it polishes up.